Back in the days, when VS2 Survival Foundation for Space Engineers 2 was released, it felt odd. We were promised survival, but what we actually got was a scenario that held your hand through the entire journey, giving you ships and all the resources you needed. Honestly, it was harder to fail than to succeed. There were survival kits everywhere, on stations, on vehicles, even in space. You didn't have to build anything yourself, you didn't feel the need to explore, you didn't struggle to find resources. And backpack building was so powerful that setting up proper production lines often felt like a waste of time. It was very mixed experience, but it had nothing in common with survival. In my attempt to bring that feeling of survival back, I even tried to recreate those conditions in my True Space Engineer Survival series. But now you don't have to, because now with the classic survival scenario added, we finally get that experience again. It still feels a bit strange to see it hidden under words instead of the main survival menu, but if you look for it, you'll find it. And just like in the good old days, you find yourself dropped on a planet with the bare minimum: a small survival kit, a set of basic tools, your creativity, and the hope to avoid critical mistakes. These are probably the closest conditions we had to classic survival so far. Run out of energy? You're dead. Run out of oxygen? You're dead. Hit something at high speed? You're dead. Destroy your only survival kit? Too bad. That's game over. No safety net, no second chances. So now, again, you don't engineer because it's fun. You engineer because you have to survive. And with this update, that feeling is finally back. Your backpack can still help you build very basic things, but anything even slightly more complex require actual production. Forget about simple blocks like antennas or ore detectors. You need a smelter first. And because of that, reaching orbit feels like an achievement again. You need to design and build a space-capable ship, set up fuel production, and survive the process. Because if something goes wrong, there is no easy recovery. And for the first time in Space Engineers, the planet itself becomes part of the gameplay. You're no longer looking for terrain just to find resource deposits. You're looking for the terrain itself. The right surface to crash land on when something inevitably goes wrong. Sand or soft soil can give you a chance to survive the impact. Rocks are far less forgiving. And now terrain also defines your resources. Soil for iron, rocks for nickel, sand for silicon, snow or ice for fuel. So your starting location actually matters now. And with all these changes and the visual improvements, everything starts to make sense. Everything contributes to immersion. When you drill, you feel the weight. You hear exactly what you're drilling. It's not just a repetitive action anymore, it feels like work. Like you're a space pioneer on a distant planet trying to get just a few kilograms of iron to survive. Now you have to solve problems, figure things out, work with conveyors, balance weight, fuel and thrust, just to have a chance to reach orbit. And when you finally do, you can say, I made it, I survived. And that feels different. We missed that, and now it's back.